guys, how you doing? Hi guys, how you doing? Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys, we're gonna be starting in 5 minutes. What do you think of that Kodak run? I'm not sure. I didn't really watch it, but we can check it out in a little bit. Silver, silver. No, silver is still bullish all the way. Silver and gold. Um, the thing is, it's not gonna go up in a straight line. There needs to be some sort of pullback, right? It can't be easy, right? Everybody at this point knows that silver and gold are pretty much taking off. So there has to be a shakeout for all the people, like we refer to them as weak buyers, right? So those are the people that are generally retail. Those are the people that, they think they're gonna make some easy money, and they buy it, and then it pulls back 5%, they get out, and then it keeps going up 10%, right? That needs to happen in order for us to go higher. So right now I'm expecting a little pullback. Um, Let me just show you guys a little something interesting about gold. I'm showing this to my members last night. We're going to look at a profile for gold. It's going to be a weekly profile. Okay. Actually, let's make that a monthly profile. Weekly's fine. Alright. Can you see this here? Can you see how it's just all like a little line, right? This is just the periods of trade that gold has had in this year so far. Okay, so this is where gold has traded all throughout this year, right? Obviously, we've traded around 1726 the most. That's the price that has traded the most. Okay, but if we notice up here in this little rally, okay, what do we notice? You guys see how it's just many times we traded here, we traded here, we traded here, we traded here, and we've kind of just gone up in this rally that we're in, and we didn't build any support, anything. Right, so this is just like an extension, right? So price, as you can see, doesn't like those imbalances. That's called an imbalance. Okay, that means that buyers became too imbalanced, right? As you can see, where in here do you guys see an imbalance? Probably you don't see that anywhere, right? That's not by coincidence. The market doesn't allow imbalances to happen, and at least for a short period of time they can happen, but longer term they don't happen, right? Here we have an imbalance, but look, it fills out. Okay, even if it doesn't fill out all the way, it will fill out. Okay, as you can see, what do you think is going to happen here? Okay, we have to fill out around here, around these prices, something. Okay, otherwise This can't just keep going up forever. Otherwise, when they pull back, it's gonna pull back incredibly sharply, right? So I am expecting a little bit of a consolidation, you know, building support, and then finally we continue higher. But it's not really that much of a thing to worry. Buyers bought. What's up, Beanie? No, they haven't bought it yet. They're just gonna defend this. There's the buyers are still in control. As you can see, today has been net long. Look at all the buying positions that are in the market. All this is buying. Okay, so far there's really no selling. We are building heavy volume up here though, so this could be a potential for a pullback here, but not really watching this anymore. I'm already done trading for today, but alright, let's see. Thoughts on FE? Let's see FE. What's FE? I'm guessing you're talking about First Energy. Oh God. That's not pretty at all. Alright, so in this situation it's kind of the same as gold, just upside down. You know, I don't know the specific reasons as to why it sold off. I don't really think it matters, but the same situation. This is an imbalance. Okay, so you should expect to see some action filling in here. Now, if we do get above 31, 32, you can expect a move back toward value, which is at 38. But then I would just expect another consolidation. So it would just be like a line in the sand right here. If they can get it above 32, then you're pretty safe in longs. If it can't get above 32, if you're long in the stock, I would just I would hope for the best. What about in Forex? I'm not sure what you mean. What about Forex? This is a Q&A, by the way, guys, so you can ask, just ask in the comments, and I'll try to go over all your questions. Some advice, maybe you want me to look at something. Yeah, Beanie. So whenever whenever you see large volume at a swing high like this, right? This is you can see this pretty much in anything. Whenever you see a high volume at the top of a move and then an immediate pullback off that high, that's called absorption, right? Because they're absorbing all that buying volume, and it combines with the sell volume. So then in turn you get really high volume because you have buyers and sellers interacting at a certain price. So that's why usually you will see very, very high volume at highs or lows of moves. Best stocks to invest in right now. I don't really invest in stocks actively like that. I do have silver and gold, and I have a large precision in that. But that's I talked about that before in my video. Green tab. Thinkorswim. This. Yes, this is Thinkorswim. This is what we use mostly for charting, as it has pretty good tools and it's free to use. I think it's probably one of the best free platforms. However, I don't like the data. The data is very slow. You guys can see, look how slow the ticks are moving. Like, it moves kind of lagging, when this is what the actual market looks like. So you can see it moves very fast and fluid. This is high quality data, okay, that you're watching right now. This is probably the best data you can get. Okay, and then Thinkorswim, since it's free, the data is not that good. It's fast, but it's not as good. By the way, guys, if you want to know what this type of charting is called, it's called market profile. This arrangement of data, instead of like a candlestick chart, it's just arranged it this way. Okay, this is called market profile. You can adjust the data and how fast you get it, the ticks. Are you talking about? Yeah, you get yeah, you can change the ticks, but the data itself, I have live data, I have real-time data. Okay, I have the fastest data on Thinkorswim. But if you want to look at the exact ticks of the market, right? If you're trading an hour or 5 minutes or maybe 10-minute charts, then it doesn't really matter. Actually, it might matter because you're not going to get exactly the best price, but look how slow it is. Look how choppy it's moving. Okay, it's not very fluid. And then when you go look at a platform that has real direct live data from the exchange, look how fast it moves. Okay, tick by tick. Okay, this is what fast data. If your platform moves like this, this fast, you know you have very good data. Okay. If you see it moving like this, it's not very good. You can still use it. Don't get me wrong. It's just not good. Okay, choppy in ES. It's choppy in ES right now. Yes. No need to trade in this chop. No need to participate in that. Are there any cheap order flow software that you recommend? Yes. Well, cheap, I don't know what you mean by cheap. Cheap in terms of, let's look at, this is Bookmap. This is what I'm showing you guys right now. Lifetime membership for Bookmap, for you to get a license to look at futures, is $990. And obviously the fancy one with, I might get this one soon. You don't need it, but it's nice to have it. But this is the one I have. You can pay monthly also. It's $49 a month. Plus data. I pay maybe like $87 a month for my data in my platform. But you don't really need it. But you can't really use the free one, so don't even look at this one. This is just for you to check it out. You can't really use it. Okay, so forget about this one. Market profile with Forex. Hold on. Are there any? No, you can't really. You're not gonna get this kind of software that is high quality for free. You can get the depth of market, which looks something like this. And I used to use this before. Oh no, that's not what I meant. Okay, this is what you can get. Okay, well, I'm gonna try to find some pictures for you guys to see it, but it's not really. Yeah, so you'll get like a dome, kind of looks like this. Okay, you can get this stuff for free, but it's you have to. This is kind of hard to learn unless you have, like, this is how they teach you how to learn in professional trading firms. It's a skill that is kind of hard to teach, because it's more of like you learn how to look for things. Like you can't really learn it just by reading. Okay, I look for this and this. It's like concepts that you have to look for and then you have to understand. So it's a little harder to learn. But this is how they start off in firms. And then that's the same as this, except that this is just charting it on obviously a chart, right? So it's just charting the dome. That's what this is basically. Do you think market profile works well with Forex? Yes, you can. I've never done it though, and I don't really know anybody that does. But in theory, you should be able to. I don't know. Let me see if I can do that actually. Let me see GBP USD. I don't know how to search up Forex on oh, there you go, Euro GBP. Euro AUD. Yeah, I guess it works. Jason, no, my data is actually the fastest one. It's already real time. It's just the quality itself of Thinkorswim data is not very fast. It's what they call it retail data. So it's good enough, but for faster applications like I use it, at least it's too slow. But yeah, you guys can see here. This is Euro AUD. I've never analyzed Forex with it. I don't really trade Forex, but I guess you can use it. The concept should be the same. Let me see on a 30-minute. This is how you really analyze it. Yeah, I guess you can use it. So the green lines, what green lines? I don't know what you're... Oh, you mean the point of control? these lines. GBP USD. So, okay, I'm just looking at this over. I think the best thing to do with Forex would be to look at the value, since there's so many periods here that it's filling out the chart. Because in um, in Forex there is no overnight session. It's kind of open 24/7. So there's kind of a lot of data. In futures, you have the regular futures and stocks. You have like the regular hours, and then you have, market close, and then in futures you have overnight. So the data is separated. Here the data is all together. So the best thing to do would be just to look at value. Okay, and clearly here value is moving higher. Okay, so you would kind of go based on that. You would see, okay, if we're above value, the buyers are in control. Below value, sellers are in control. Who's going to be selling below value? Okay, people that want to push price out of the way. Okay, and to move price out of the way requires a lot of strength, right? Who has a lot of strength? Institutions, people with a lot of money, banks. Okay, retail traders can't push markets out of balance. Okay, this is balance. They can't do that. Okay, they physically don't have enough money to do that. So when you see a market breaking out of value, okay, and staying above, you know that there's going to be big players pushing it out. Okay, but once it goes back inside, you expect price to just go like this, from side to side to side to side, until one side gives up and then it breaks into whichever direction. Okay, and that's usually when somebody with a lot of money comes in and decides, okay, I want to go lower, and they sell or they buy a lot of positions, and the market moves. Do you know if TradingView market profile is any good? Not really. I don't know. I've never used it, but I mean, it should be good. The data is pretty much all the same. Market profile, you don't really need anything fancy, because it's really just you can use end of day data to look at market profile. You don't need to pay for anything. Sierra chart is good. Sierra chart is good for footprint and market profile. However, you have to pay for that. It's not free. Let's see what's going on over here. Still in the range. Guys, you can apply this to pretty much any market. If you see price in a range, don't take any trades inside it like this. Okay, don't, like, what happens is algos are playing in here. Okay, there's nobody in control. So when you see, for example, for whatever reason, let's say you're looking at just the candles, right? Or you see you see a setup to go short. And you see, oh look, they're selling it here, they're selling it here. And guess what? You get stopped out. And then you think, oh look, they're gonna buy it. Boom, then you get stopped out. So that's just a little tip just to stay out when it's inside these little moves. And also, don't try to time the breakout. Okay, I emphasize this, and I tell people this all the time. Don't try to time the breakout unless you have tools like this and you know how to read the actual order flow and the volume. Okay, because timing that breakouts of ranges is kind of hard. Okay, and I'm telling you that from experience. Okay, the best thing to do is to let it break out and then just wait simply for a pullback. Okay, we pull back and then that's when you can act. Okay, but timing the breakout is not a fun idea. You will lose your money. The way I've seen others use it is by compiling times together and finding support resistance zones. Does that sound something like you would do with it? Are you talking about the profile? I'm not entirely sure what you mean by compiling times together. So the traditional, you know, way of looking at profile is to observe pretty much two things. Value, or three things actually. Value, balance, and imbalance. Okay, that's pretty much it. So you have, honestly, it doesn't really matter how you like arrange your data or really look at it. I mean, the concept should be the same, because at the end of the day, the markets are auctions, and there's a thing called auction theory, which applies to pretty much everything. So would do that, and that's how he found zones of where buyers were likely to push through a certain price or go higher or something like that. Not sure how it works though. Okay, it's really not complicated. It might look a little complicated to you guys, but it's really not. Okay, so if we look here, this is a good example. What do we see here? Okay, what do we see here in terms of balance, right? Very obvious. I have already marked it out for you guys so you can just tell. Okay, and let's say, and this is before today. This is what we had observed before. This is very easy for anybody to see. Yeah, Beanie is getting it pretty nicely. But yeah, so you see that price is pretty much in this balance, right? There's just a range, right? You guys probably refer to this as a range, right? So you see prices kind of staying in these two prices in the zone, right? And then we get the standard definition of balance, which is where price is most accepted, right? So what needs to happen for the market to move out of balance, for the market to move out of this range? Right, I mentioned this before. Okay, you need a lot of volume and aggression. Okay, you need a lot of it. Okay, because here, this is where we've established our value, or our fair price. Okay, so then that's telling us that all these people think that the fairest price where the market should be is, if you average these out, is around 614, right? So right around here. Okay. Now what happened today? We opened way below. Okay, now what do we know? Okay, we know that everybody in here, okay, either buyers or sellers, is attempting to keep price at this 614, right? So we opened here and we started like selling at the open, and we get below, okay, and then what happens below balance, right? Remember what I mentioned before. New sellers are going to start initiating, right? Or in theory, they're going to start initiating because they don't want to be part of this. They want price to get out of this balance and they want to push it somewhere else lower. So what you're expecting is once price gets below balance, you're expecting the sellers to start coming in, the big sellers, and start pushing prices lower, 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 lower. However, that doesn't happen, right? So you have that information, you know, okay, so maybe the sellers are not interested in selling, okay, which is what happened. The sellers didn't really care, okay, below 540, nobody really gave it, nobody really cared about it. So then, you know, for most of the time, okay, buyers are pretty much in control for now, so what am I going to look for? I'm going to look for a move to the top of balance or to value, right? So value is at here, 614, okay? Now let's look at a chart. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so we sold off near the open. There was no sellers down here. Again, no sellers. We got back inside. We know, okay, there's buyers. There's buyers in control, right? This is the trade that I took. We pulled back to an area of buyers that I saw, and then we expect a move toward the top of balance, right? Or towards the point of control. Should be 614, right about here. Okay, so you guys see how there's reactions at these prices, right? And you have to judge the strength of each reaction. So that's what kind of what makes the difference, right? And now once we get up here to the top of balance, okay, below the top of balance, we expect sellers to come in and push price back towards 14. However, there isn't any sellers in the situation. You guys see there's no real aggressive selling. Okay, we go above it, and guess who is above balance? Just like who's below below balance, right? You get some aggressive buyers and big buyers to push price out of this area. So then obviously look who came in here, aggressive, push price up. Okay, so it's very simple. Okay, it's obvious. Obviously you need practice to understand it and apply it. But it's a very simple concept, and this applies to pretty much any market, right? Because this is how auctions work, and essentially each market is an auction. How do you find market profile on TOS? Can't seem to find it. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to style. Okay, you're gonna pull up any chart, doesn't really matter, just any chart. You're gonna go to style, and then you're gonna go to chart mode, and then you're going to go to monkey bars. Once you go to monkey bars, you're gonna have you're gonna have to go to appearance in settings. So right here it's settings. And then you're gonna go to appearance, and then you're gonna put these settings that I have here. And then once you put on these settings, you should have your profile look something like this. And it should be easier to analyze it. So go to Style, Chart Mode, Monkey Bars. Okay, once you get to Monkey Bars, it's going to look really weird. You go to Settings, Appearance, Tick Size, None, Emphasize First Digit, etc. 2 for Initial Balance. And then that's pretty much it. And then you should have something like this. If you guys want me to show you my overnight trade, this was it. It's the one I posted, it's this one that I posted on the chat. It was I got in for two contracts initially, and then I added 2 more on top of that, so my total size was 4 lots on the NQ. It was right here. So I saw lots of sellers. Saw their reaction here, jumped in with them, and then I wrote it down. I went to sleep, so I didn't really have a chance to trail it, but my target was around this. Was around that. If I had been awake, I would have trailed it 100%. Look how aggressive the move down is. But I just left my target there and I went to sleep, so I didn't really care. But it was really nice. So I didn't really trade today. I only had 1 contract on this trade, which obviously in hindsight it would have been a killer trade if I had done it with full size. Would have been about like $4,000. But you know, and everything else works out always in hindsight. So, but you know, I still made a pretty good day. But I'm happy with this trade. I mentioned it to the masterclass members that trades like this, okay, and this especially in this volatility, things that just kind of line up like this, bottom of balance, okay, nice reaction into it, okay, and then buyers absorbing, you know, you get a almost perfect trade. Okay, this is what makes me wake up in the morning. Okay, and we're finally starting to see some good volume. We're starting to see some good volume in these days. Okay, this is what we've had for the past like 6 days now. Low volume, boring days, boring. Okay, started to pick up, and now today. Okay, these past 2 days, look how nice they've been. Okay, but before that it was horrible. So boring. Nothing to do. Okay, and before that, okay, a couple more. But then before that, there was a lot of fun. This is probably one of my best weeks that I've had so far this year. But things are starting to pick up again, so I'm pretty happy with that. You guys have any questions? I don't know. You guys haven't really asked anything. I don't know if I'm just going on. ES is breaking out. Haven't been seeing any good setups on ES lately. It's kind of very choppy. Like the candles are not very nice. And Q probably has better opportunities. But overall, it's kind of just hanging around here. It's clearly somebody's trying to hold down price. Yeah, somebody's selling into this. You see the big volume right there. 380 contracts, 360. Okay, they need to break through this 1700. 700. They need to break through 700 for us to go higher. But this is NQ, ES. Let me see what it looks like. I suspect it's around the same thing. No, not really. It's just grinding higher. You guys see how today I want to show you something. You guys see how this action is just kind of very close to the market, right? Kind of following. Okay, now we're starting to kind of flatten out. This is just mostly like market buyers, people that are just getting in, following the market. So there's no real aggressive, big buyers in this. So if we do kind of flush down, the move could be pretty fast down, because it just runs through all the people's stops, all these stops, right? Because people that have a lot of money, they're just gonna try to size into their positions at specific prices. So you'll see big orders sitting on the book. Okay, not just following. They're not chasing prices. You won't see somebody with 1,000 contracts, just chasing the market higher. It's like, oh, I missed my price. They're not gonna do that. Okay, they're very strategic on how they enter the market and how they trade. So often you will see retail and algos are the ones that are trading in this mess. Obviously here and there you'll see some big buys and orders, big buy orders or sell orders or whatever. But in general, this is kind of not nice action. How did I get into trading? Maybe when I was I don't remember, in high school, and I was watching a YouTube video by this guy. I forgot who it was. Had nothing to do with trading at all. And he had like I don't remember what car it was. He had I think it was a Ferrari or something like that. I don't remember. And then I got an ad for this like stock, this guy talking about stocks or whatever. And I was like, oh, I've always wanted to know what the numbers on you guys know the Apple app for stocks. I was like, oh, I wanted to know what those are, so I started like searching up what the numbers meant and how I could start doing it, because I wanted to have a Ferrari also. So then, one thing led to the other, and I started learning. But it was basically just because of that video. And I think it's because I was looking for things to make money At one point, I think maybe like 2 weeks into it, I think I started doing binary options or some BS like that. You go to college? No, not really. I um, I kind of stopped. I kind of stopped. I kind of stopped my college education, but I do plan eventually on finishing. I just um, I just didn't really see the point. I would be in class when I first went to college. I would go be in class and just looking at charts and whatever. What made you choose futures over forex or stocks? Well, stocks you need $25,000 to day trade, and forex, um, I don't know. I don't know. I I just didn't really like the whole like atmosphere of forex. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean. It's not that you can trade. Like I know very successful. I know TT obviously he's very successful at trading forex, but like the industry overall, like there's a lot of BS out there. So so I just kind of stayed away from it. And then obviously I met guys that work in professional trading firms, and I started going that route, and then I started learning. That's how I got into order flow. Um, and yeah, it's just the thing is, most traders that at least that I knew or know, they trade either for futures or stocks, right? And the thing is, you can swing a lot of size in um, in very short term, right? Obviously, you can't really do that in forex consistently. You can't really swing large size in very small moves. Okay, I don't know anybody that does that um, professionally. I really don't. Um, Forex usually the larger traders, they just kind of swing positions. They don't really trade, like less than 1 minute, take charge. They don't really do that. So I was interested more in faster trading. So, but yeah, no, there's guys out there, trading. I trade at most 10 lots. There's guys out there trading 50 or 100 lots. I mean, I wish to get there one day, and I will. I will get there eventually. But for them, each tick is so for them each tick is $625. So each little tick that the market does is around $600. Imagine that. It's a lot of money. But obviously they have the firm capital and all that, so they can they can swing that pretty easily. Um, let's see. But basically I chose futures because of yeah, because just because of the accessibility. I liked how it was very um like established, like everything is regulated. Um you can have volume, and there's like different tools. And also, like I said before, because of the guys that I would look at and how what they would do, they were trading futures, obviously. So I kind of went that way. I'm sure that if I was being mentored by a forex trader or something, I would be going toward forex. But it's all pretty much the same. It just depends on what you like and what you kind of get pointed towards. But yeah, guys, here you can see what we were talking about earlier. Above balance, once you find aggressive buying, you will see initiation of a move. Okay, and this is kind of you guys can look at this in your own platforms. It's pretty easy to see that. But if you have the framework of market profile and how to observe it, things do become easier. It keeps you out of trouble. For example, trying to go short at these prices, you would think, oh, we're starting to sell off, right? You would be tempted to maybe go for a short anywhere in these prices, right? Obviously, if you had a market profile understanding, you know, you would think, who in the hell would think of shorting at these prices with all the buyers lining up to buy that, right? It makes no sense. So it's just a nice framework to have. Makes you understand the markets, how they work, who's in control, why they do what they do. Um, I'm not sure if you guys have any questions about anything else. How long have we been going? I don't even remember. Oh, it's already been an hour. Wow. Is there any other topics, anything else you guys want to talk about? I'm here for you guys, so just let's go for maybe another 15, 10 more minutes. I can talk about the funding, how to get funded with um, money to trade professionally. I can talk about that. Um, I can talk about maybe how to get started with futures. Maybe that could be helpful to some of you. FTMO. Yes, I've heard of FTMO. I've never I've never I don't know anybody that's ever actually no, I do know somebody that's used it, but I'm not really close to that person, so I don't really know how successful they are at it. But I do know that they got funded. However, I do know a lot of people um, that have gotten into Top Step, but this is more towards futures. So this is I was recommending actually to my masterclass members that once they learn how to use my strategies correctly, or not even mine. It could be any other strategies, just any strategy correctly. This is probably the best way if you don't have the capital to start trading. This is the best way to make an actual living. Okay, because even with one contract on the futures, you can make a very decent living. A couple $1,000s a month. That's that's a lot of money for a lot of people. So, and that's just one. Once you start scaling up, you have 15 contract sizing. That's more than I trade. I trade around 10. Okay, so really, if you're really serious about it, you guys should give this a look. I think they do FX. I no Top Step. I think you have to use their account. I don't remember. Yeah, I think yeah you can use their account on Trade-O-Vate or NinjaTrader or TradeStation. It's up to you. I think I don't think it matters because you have a connection, so then they can see the results. But I don't recommend you guys do this unless you have actually. I recommend always 3 weeks at least of 3 weeks of profitable trading before you even consider. Okay, because if you can't make money 3 weeks in a row confidently, then you probably shouldn't even waste your money because it's not very cheap either. It's $160, 165, $300 for these two, 150. So it's obviously not cheap. So yeah, just give yourself the best chance to earn an account. What's the decent size? Oh, Preston, yes, I am trading my own money now. The downside with this, well, it's not really a downside, but the downside is that you have to give up 80%. So you have to give up 80% of, I mean, not 80%. You give 20% of your earnings, so you make 80%, which is pretty much like a prop firm. So so you so what's it called? So it can be a little draining. But honestly, if you don't have the money and you're starting off with that, it's not really a big deal. You don't even notice it. But yeah, I think they have a forex program. I'm not really sure. I think they do. Forex. Top Step FX. I'm not sure, but I think I've seen it somewhere. You guys are gonna have to look at that. I'm not 100% sure about it. All right, Beanie, let me get to your question. What's a decent size pullback? There is no right or wrong answer to that. It's just relative to what the market is doing. Okay, so for example, if you see something like this, do you consider this a pullback? Probably not. Right? Would you consider this a pullback? Yeah, probably. Right? The key is just to look at, and this is how I like to see, just look for a lot of consecutive red candles. Okay, it's very easy on the eyes, very easy to spot. Okay, that's usually what the best pullbacks are going to look like. Okay, usually aggressive moves into areas or zones are going to be the best in terms of reactions. Okay, because if the market kind of grinds like this, grinds through, kind of just moves very slowly. Okay, very slowly. You're not going to get much of a move. Okay, you want to get or be participating in moves that are very straight, very aggressive. Okay, not moves kind of like this. You see this? It's not very nice. Okay, but then once you get here below, it's gonna just straight down. Okay. So overall, just look for very sharp moves like this. Okay, this is perfect. Okay, you see that sharp move into zones. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. Any more questions, guys? All right, Beanie, take care, man. What's my weekly profit? I don't really have like a number that I shoot to aim. I don't think that's ever helped me to have, you know, kind of, because that kind of gives you like a like a pressure in a way. Like you don't want to be pressuring yourself to make any amount of money. You just kind of have to know, you know, once you follow your rules and you do what you have to do, the money will be there. And you know, most of the time it is. But yeah, like I said, if you start putting like um like a target, then sometimes it tends to work backwards against you. Now, some people and some guys I know, some actually some professional traders that I know, they have to, you know, meet requirements and stuff like that. But then again, they are managing other people's money, so then it's kind of necessary. So you know, you have to be a little bit more um, on top of everything, all the numbers, all your statistics. You know, not that I'm not, but I'm saying um, that it's not the end of the world for me if I don't make, you know, exactly, you know, $5,000 this week. You know, for them it's like, you know, if I don't make 5,000, then I'm behind, you know, 10% on what I should make, and then, you know, like my risk gets decreased, and you know all that. So it's a different story. But you know, it doesn't hurt. You know, it depends on you really, how you and it depends on how you perceive your stress and your pressure and yourself, because everybody's different. You know, I don't really like it. I don't feel like I need it. You know, maybe I might try it out, and then maybe it changed from the last time I tried it. You know, I don't know that. But that's just something you have to test out for yourself, which is kind of the reality for most things in trading. You have to take everything everybody says. Like you shouldn't go and apply everything I say either. Like, you know, you have to try to understand it, because there's a way that I understand things that might be different to what how you understand. So always just try to take every bit of information you get and try to apply it in a way that makes sense to you, right? Otherwise, it's gonna be like a mess in your head, and you're not gonna know how to apply it. But yeah, I've been averaging about like 5,000 around 5,000, 4,000 a week this month. If I had to give you a number. But that's also because of the volume days that we've been having. You know, there's really not much to do on days like this. You know, very slow days. You know, I don't have much opportunities. So generally, it's not as it's not as nice. But you know, it's still something. Let me see if I can pull up. I'll have to take a screenshot otherwise, because it shows all my information on that. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to pull up some information here. Yeah, this past this past month. Paid a lot in fees. A lot. There was this is mostly just due because of the slow days. I had to take in a lot of positions sometimes. So there was a lot of round turns, meaning obviously a lot of commissions. I mean, obviously, you know, when you make mistakes, you also have to account for that. The You have to pay commission on top of that, especially when you're trading a lot of contracts. A lot of contracts you have to pay a lot more in commissions. But that's why I like Thinkorswim. You know, I mean, Trade08. You know, they have low commissions, so it's not that bad. I mean, it's not so much as reduced risk. It's just the environment, really. If you wanted to go and get into prop, um, the environment is just nice, you know, because you have some guys that are, you know, next to you. Some a guy's making, you know, $100,000 in that day. You know, that gives you like a it gives you a little bit of motivation. And you know, when you're going through a rough patch, you kind of know, you can ask people you know, like what they think or you know what you should do. But yeah, it's mainly about the environment. Can I look at OCG and are you talking about this? I don't know if I'm looking at the right thing. Oh, penny stock. Yeah, that's not looking very nice. So whenever you see a profile that looks like this, like a P, okay, if I were to draw like a P, what this is telling you is that there is um, no real buying going on. Okay, that the buying is pretty much over for this for this um, for this period of time. And also what you can see up here is that they tried to go higher, right? They tried to fill this out, but they couldn't. Look, you see how it kind of filled in and then it kind of failed, came back down, right? They tried, so that's very bearish in nature. And then on top of that, you add that the shape of the profile is P, as in all the people that are trying to buy it, right? They're pretty much already in, right? So unless in reality, unless you get a move and you get above around, I would say 637, 6, what is that? I can't even see. 6397. If you're gonna move above 6397, then you should pay attention to this stock. Okay, but anything below here, really, I would consider this pretty much garbage. But then again, it's a penny stock, you know, it doesn't take that much to move it. I'm talking more about like how it looks and how it's like behaving. Because obviously there's nothing to stop this from, you know, somebody releasing news and then this just blows past up and then goes, you know, $20 million higher. You know, there's nothing stopping that from happening. But if I had to place bets on this, I wouldn't place any bets below 63.97. And that's just simply below value. Once it gets above value, remember what I say. Above value, people initiate positions. People with money initiate positions. So then you might have a little bit of hope that somebody will start picking up some shares on the way up. Okay, but so far, there's really nothing to do here. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it at these prices. Also this one, take note, point of control. Okay, it could break out. Once it gets above here, you're gonna start to see it like a trend towards 75. And then from here, this is where you kind of decide where the buyers are. If they're really here, you will see an explosive reaction away, above value, and then higher. But this is what needs to happen first. So I would set an alarm or an alert at this price. Once it crosses above it, that's when you pay attention to it. But for now, I wouldn't touch it. Alright guys, any last questions? It's already 1:40. I think I'm just gonna go out to eat. And by the way, if you guys want to join the masterclass, the chat room, you guys can use the code YouTube for $10 off. So you can just grab it if you guys want to join that. I think it should be on the description. I'm not really sure. I don't know if you guys can see the description or not. I'm not really good with YouTube. Yeah, it's on the description. So if you guys want to join the mentorship or the membership, just click the link in the description, use the code YouTube, and you get $10 off. But yeah, any last questions, guys? And then I think I'm gonna take off and eat lunch. Not really sure what I'm feeling. Might go eat for Italian or something. Who knows? All right, I guess we have no more questions. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream. I will try to stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays whenever I can. Um, but yeah, hope you guys have a good day tomorrow. As always, you guys can reach out to me in the chat, in the free chat or the members chat, whichever. Pretty active and all, so just chat with you guys there. Have a good day, guys.